we're talking about domain and range. Yesterday we talked about what domain is and what range is. So if you don't remember what definitions of those are, go ahead and watch the previous lecture or look at the notes that we've done in class. So today we know that domain is going to be all of the possible input values, and range should be all the possible output values. Now, when we look at a graph like this, typically, in fact, all the time, because we have an x and a y axis, domain is always going to be represented by x, and range is always going to be represented by y. So, the best thing to do here is let's start by putting down our coordinates. Since there's 4 points, we put 4 coordinates down. So, we look at this first one. We go 1, 2, 3 to the left. That is -3 for the x value. And we go down 1, 2. That's -2 for the y value. So we have -3, -2 for our first point. Now our second point, we go left 1, which is -1, and we don't go up or down any. So that's 0. The third point, we go over 1 and up 2. So 1, 2. And the fourth point, we go over to the right, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3. And we go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, a +4 for our y value. Now we have all of our coordinates. We just have to list our domain and range. So we look at our domain. I'm just going to draw a squiggly line, but we have to include, I believe on your keyboard, it would look more like that, because this is a set. So we have to include those squiggly lines. So the domain is all of our x values. Let's write them in numerical order every single time. So the first x value we see is -3. So we have -3. We have -1, 1, and 3. Again, those all came from our x values, right? So our range is going to come from our y values. Let's start at the top. We have -2, 0, 2, and 4. It's as simple as that. We write down all of our coordinates. We put all of our x's in the domain. We put all of our y's in the range, and let's put those in numerical order. That means from least to greatest. Okay, now let's look at a graph that's like this. It looks a little different, right? We only have 2 defined points, so let's go ahead and write those 2 defined points down. So, in this one, in our x value, we go left 1, 2, so we have -2. And we go down 1 for our y value, so it's -1. Okay, our second point. We go right 3, 1, 2, 3. We go up 2, 1, 2. So those are our 2 points, right? Now I know these cross in these points here, but we're not going to assume that those points are the exact points. Instead, we're going to write our domain and range as a compound inequality. As we've talked about before, when we're talking about an in-between value, so in this case it's from -2 all the way to 3 for our domain, we need to use a compound inequality. That's going to be an and compound inequality. So our domain is going to look like, let's put our lowest x first, so -2, put our less than or equal sign, put our x with our less than or equal sign, and put our highest x value, which is 3. That is our domain. So if you look at our x-axis, the one that goes horizontally, we see that from, that is a -2, all the way to 3 is our domain. Our domain runs from right to left, right? That means our range runs from top to bottom. So our range, let's look at it. Now, it's not always going to be represented by our coordinates. In this case, it is, but let's look. So the highest point our line goes is going to be 2 on the y-axis. The lowest point our line goes is a -1. So that means from 2 to a -1, or if we put it in numerical order, from -1 to 2 is our range. That's how high and low it goes. So we have -1 first, with the same exact signs, and our y, because it's the y-axis, and our highest value is 2. So our domain is from left to right. Our range is from bottom to top. So, if you have any questions, please ask me in class. I know it's a little bit confusing. Now, one more thing I want to add is the reason we have to put less than or equal to comes from our inequalities, is because we have a closed circle right here. Our second one comes from a closed circle right here. If one of those is open, you do not have to put the equal to sign. Okay, let's move on. This is going to be a monitoring progress. I want you guys to try it on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll go over it together. Okay, so hopefully you've done this on your own. The first thing that we're going to do here is write down all of our points. Let's start on the left side and work our way to the right side. So there's 5 total points. We have to have 5 total coordinates. Okay, let's start here. That coordinate is -2, 4. Let's go here. That is -1, 2. Here's our origin. Our origin is always 0, 0. Next, we have 1, 2. And finally, we have 2, 4. Now, there's going to be something just a little bit different when it comes to the domain and range here. So, I'm assuming a few of you may have written the range wrong, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. So, first, let's look at our domain. Let's look at all the x values. Let's start at -2 and go all the way down. So, we have -2. Next, we have -1. Next, we have 0. Then 1 and 2. Now again, the domain is all of our x values, right? The domain runs from left to right. Okay, now let's do the range. Okay. Our range has 2 repeating numbers. We have 2 2s and we have 2 4s. We do not have to write those repeating numbers down. Let's write it from least to greatest still. So let's go 0. Now, next is 2. We do not have to write a second 2. We only have to write 1 2. So that means the next number after that is going to be 4. So our domain is -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Our range is 0, 2, and 4. Remember, our domain is from left to right. It's all of our x values. Our range is from bottom to top for all of our y values. Okay, let's look at this one. This one might be a little bit more confusing. First, let's write down our 2 coordinates. The first coordinate we have 1. So go ahead and change that to 5, 4, which hopefully you've already done this before. We went over 5 and up 4. Okay. Our domain, again, is from left to right. So when we look, the farthest left our graph goes is 1, which matches our x value. So we have 1. We have closed circles. We put our x. The farthest right it goes is 5, which also matches our x value. Remember, our domain runs from left to right. We're always looking, how far left does it go? It starts at 1. How far right does it go? It ends at 5. It's as simple as that. The domain is as far left and as far right as we can make it. Now we look at our range. Okay, our range. A lot of you may have put 4 and 4. Unfortunately, that's not going to be correct because we look at our entire line, right? And our range actually runs from 0, because that's how far our line drops, right? And 0, and it ends all the way up at 4. So the highest it goes is 4, the lowest it goes is 0. So, in this situation, our range needs to start at the bottom, which is 0. We put our exact same signs, and it ends at 4. So that's the difference here. On this side, we're just worried about the individual points. On this side, we're worried about how far our line stretches. From left to right is domain, from bottom to top is range.